The summer sun stretched low across the fields, casting golden light over the long, winding dirt road that led to the old farmhouse. Its paint was faded and peeling, the windows dusty, and the fence sagged like it had given up years ago. But for Jason Miller and his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, it felt like possibility itself. Jason had never imagined himself as a farmer, or a fixer of anything, really, but after losing his wife 3 years ago, he had realized that staying in the city, surrounded by reminders of their old life, wasn't helping either of them heal. The farmhouse, abandoned for decades, was cheap. Too cheap, some people said. But Jason saw potential, space for Lily to run, quiet nights under the stars, and perhaps a chance to build something new from the ground up. "Do you think it's haunted?" Lily asked as she hopped out of the car, her backpack slung over one shoulder. She had her mother's curious eyes, bright and searching, and a nervous excitement that Jason had come to love. "Haunted?" Jason chuckled. "I don't think so. Maybe haunted by old memories. But I promise, only the friendly kind." They walked up to the porch, the wood creaking under their feet. The door stuck at first, groaning as Jason pushed it open. Dust motes danced in the sunlight streaming through the windows. "This is our new home," he said, kneeling to hug Lily. She smiled, her small hands clutching his shirt. For the next week, Jason threw himself into work. He painted, swept, fixed leaky faucets, and even learned to patch the old roof with a borrowed ladder. Lily followed, helping where she could, her laughter echoing through the empty rooms like a song. Nights were spent on the couch with flashlights, reading stories, or sitting on the porch swing under a sky full of stars, talking about the life they wanted to build together. Then, 3 weeks later, Jason drove back from the hardware store, bags of nails and paint in the trunk, only to find the front door wide open. A sense of unease settled in his chest. "Lily," he called. From the living room came quiet laughter, soft, melodic, completely foreign. Jason froze. He hadn't invited anyone. He hadn't told anyone they were here yet. And then he saw them, 2 women, older than him but younger than the mountains around them, sitting on the tattered couch as if they'd always lived there. One had dark hair cascading over her shoulders, the other had short, fiery red hair. Both looked up at him, startled but not afraid. I'm sorry," Jason stammered. "I didn't expect anyone here." The dark-haired woman smiled gently. "It's okay. We didn't mean any harm. We just needed a place to stay." Jason glanced at Lily, who had hidden behind his leg, wide-eyed. "Mom," she whispered, gripping his shirt. "I'm not sure," Jason said. Why are you here?" "My name's Clara," the dark-haired woman said. "And this is my sister, June. We've been traveling, trying to find work, a place to belong. We saw the house empty and," her voice trailed off. She looked embarrassed, but there was a quiet dignity in her posture. Jason felt something strange in his chest. Anger? Fear? Pity? It all tangled together. But then he looked at Lily. And Lily, always so quick to trust, had already stepped forward. "Hi," she said. "Do you want to play outside?" Clara blinked. "Outside?" "Yes," Lily said, tugging at her father's hand. "We can run, and there's a swing. I'll show you." Jason couldn't believe the boldness of his little girl. He opened his mouth, but nothing came out. Lily grabbed Clara's hand and ran toward the garden, her laughter like sunlight breaking through clouds. Jason exhaled, tension leaving him slowly. Maybe this could work. Over the next few weeks, boundaries blurred in the quiet rhythm of farmhouse life. Jason, Clara, and June formed an unlikely household. Clara helped Lily with her homework and taught her how to bake bread, laughing when the flour ended up everywhere. June, the more practical of the two, fixed the broken fence and cleared the overgrown garden, her hands strong and capable, yet gentle when she comforted Lily after a scraped knee. Jason watched them carefully, always wary of the reality that this was unconventional. But something about the way his daughter's laughter filled the empty corners of the house made it easier to let go of old fears. One evening, the four of them sat around the dinner table, simple roasted vegetables and bread steaming in front of them. Jason looked at their faces, bathed in the golden glow of the hanging lamp. "You know," he said, "I didn't expect this house to be full of people." Clara smiled softly. "Sometimes, you don't find family where you expect it. You find it where you need it." Lily nodded, grinning. "I like our new family. Even if it's kind of weird." Jason laughed, the sound echoing warmly through the farmhouse. "Weird is good," he said. "Weird is exactly what we need." Winter came with its own charm. Snow blanketed the farmhouse, turning the fields into sparkling white. The fire roared in the fireplace, and the smell of cinnamon and pine filled the air. Clara taught Lily how to make paper snowflakes, June showed her how to ice the roof safely, and Jason discovered he enjoyed sitting quietly with a cup of coffee, watching the world outside his window. One snowy evening, a knock at the door startled them. Jason opened it to find an elderly neighbor, Mrs. Halloway, who had lived in the town her entire life. "You folks must be the new owners," she said, smiling. "I've seen some strange things in my years, but I never thought anyone would bring life back to this old place." Jason shook his head, smiling. "We're just trying." Mrs. Halloway glanced at Clara, June, and Lily, her eyes twinkling. "Looks like you're more than trying. Looks like you brought this place home." And that was when Jason realized she was right. The farmhouse wasn't just a house anymore. It was a home built on laughter, trust, and unexpected friendship. Spring arrived slowly, painting the fields in green. Lily ran through the tall grass, Clara chasing her with a straw hat on her head, June carrying a basket of wildflowers, and Jason following behind, his heart full in a way he hadn't known since before his wife passed. One quiet evening, as the sun dipped low and the sky turned a mixture of pink and gold, Jason sat on the porch with a cup of coffee. Lily climbed onto his lap, hugging him tightly. "Daddy," she whispered, "I'm glad we bought this house." Jason hugged her back, smiling. "Me too, pumpkin. Me too." Inside, Clara hummed a soft tune while June tidied the kitchen. Outside, the field stretched endlessly, and the farmhouse stood proudly, no longer abandoned, but alive with the warmth of love and laughter. Jason realized something he hadn't thought in a long time: life was messy, unpredictable, and sometimes perfect. And in that old farmhouse, surrounded by people who had become family, he finally felt at home.